Hello, wonderful. It is Sarah, and so many times I hear people say something along the lines of, I just need to get better boundaries. I need to get stronger boundaries. And there's this idea that if they're in a toxic relationship and they get stronger boundaries or better boundaries, that they can change the toxic person or prevent their toxic behavior or change the relationship dynamic. So I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine there are two people with fences. My mother-in-law actually has horses and cows and all these things. I don't have any, but she has all this property, like 300 acres of property, and lots of fences on that property, okay? And so I want you to imagine there's her farm and her fence, and then her neighbors have a fence. And let's say she builds that fence, and then someone just runs over it. And then she builds the fence again, and someone runs over it. She builds the fence again and runs over it. Builds the fence again, someone runs over it. And then she said, "Oh, I'm just gonna get better at building fences. Okay, so I'm just gonna get really strong fence. I'm just gonna like stand against the fence and like push. So when they try to run over, I'm just like pushing, and I'm working on my fence. I'm pushing, and I'm working on my fence. And I'm pushing, I'm working on my fence. And the other neighbors, they just built something where someone doesn't run over their fence. They're not putting themselves in a situation where someone's constantly trying to mow down their fence. Which person do you think is happier? Because we can get really strong boundaries, but if we're constantly putting ourselves in situations where someone is trying to run over those boundaries, we're always going to be tired. And most people, by the time they come to me, they're exhausted. They are tired of the toxic relationship. They're tired of putting up with toxic behavior, and they're worn down. They are weary because the toxic person has been running them down and making them weary and sitting them in guessing games. So when they try to build their fence, can they get a stronger fence? Can they get better boundaries? Yes. Is that going to solve the problem of someone constantly running into those boundaries? No. There are some people in your life who want to run down your fence. They want to control you. They want to manipulate you. They want to get their way. They want to see if they can get away with things. They want you to pay for them. They want to act like little bitty baby selfish tantrum children. They want you to constantly do the work of the relationship. They are fence runner-overs. That is what they do. That is how they have a relationship with people, is control, manipulation, gaslighting. So when your healing strategy, and I love the Boundary series by Henry Cloud. I've read those books. They're great. They're incomplete in becoming toxic person proof. Because when you just try to have a stronger fence, like I'm going to stand up to him, I'm not going to put up with this. My healing strategy is to have better boundaries. That's lovely. Please know you will still be exhausted. Because no matter how strong your fence is, if you are building your fence on a field that there's constantly someone trying to run over it, the better boundaries can be part of the solution, but your lack of boundaries and you thinking you need to work the problem is your lack of boundaries, is once again you taking ownership of the toxic person problem. You're saying, oh, the problem is that my fence wasn't strong enough. No, the problem is your fence keeps getting run over. There's someone who thinks it's okay to run over your fence. There's someone who thinks it's okay to run you down. There's someone who thinks it's okay to run you over. And some people are in relationships and in situations and in work situations and family situations and partner situations where there's not someone constantly trying to run down their fence. So all the energy you are putting into, no, Sarah, I'm working on my boundaries. Other people aren't living that way. They're not in a relationship that way. And they're not exhausted. And they are putting themselves in situations that set them up for success rather than situations that they, again, are taking ownership for the problems in the relationship. Toxic people aren't good at relationships. They are constantly looking for ways to get you to do the work of the relationship. And they are constantly going to run your fence over. And you may get better at building up your fence at first, but you're still going to be tired. The relationship's never going to feel easy. It's never going to feel like a partnership, and you're never going to feel good about who you are in that relationship because you are going to continue to exhaust yourself within the relationship. And I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating, and it's almost like it's our brain kind of tricking us into thinking, oh, don't worry, Sarah. And I've had so many women say this. Oh, I'm getting really good at boundaries. Oh, no, I'm working on my boundaries. You know, this relationship is going to work out because I'm getting better at boundaries. Have enough integrity to yourself to say, I'm not going to get better at boundaries. I am going to get better at boundaries, but I'm also going to put myself in situations where someone's not constantly trying to run them over. Hope that helps.